Hello and welcome to episode 17 of Country Bumpkin Creates. My name is Lucy. You can find me out on social media on Instagram as country_bumps and on Ravelry as country bumps. Hello. Well, it's been a little while again, isn't it? I must do it more frequently, but this sort of works for me. So if everybody's happy with like a couple of months between podcasts, well, you're going to have to be, because it just sort of works better for me content-wise, because that means I've got content for you rather than showing the same old things just a little bit further along. And it just fits in with life in general, really. This may be a bit of a shorter, quicker, more rushed episode, because I am recording before I start work. I've got an hour and 15 minutes before I start work, but this is literally the only time I've got to record, or else it'll be another week, and I didn't want to leave it another week because I'm going away tomorrow for 5 days, so I wanted to get a podcast in before we went. I was going to do one last night, but the light was awful, and it just didn't, with the artificial lights on, looked awful, so we scrapped that. So we're recording this morning. It is Wednesday the 12th of June. Yeah, what have I been up to? Well, there's been a fair amount of knitting going on, before I go, welcome to any new viewers, and welcome back to any returning viewers. It's nice to have you back. Any new viewers, I do hope you enjoy this podcast. If you do, please subscribe and hit the thumbs up button, as that just gets me out there in the ether to more people. So what have we done? Where have we been? I went to Bath for the Sip, Stitch and Shop, I think it was called, event, which was a farewell to Helen Stewart that Carmen from A Yarn Story organised, because Helen Stewart has moved back to Australia, or is moving back to Australia. I'm not quite sure when, or if it's already happened. So it was a farewell to Helen. Helen brought along a lot of her samples, so it was nice to see those. Did a bit of shopping, sat and did a bit of knitting. It was nice to catch up with friends. That was back in May. And then 2 Saturdays ago, we had Flock, which is organised by the wonderful Claire and John and Bex, who are Bird Street UK and Mr. B's Yarns. And then there's Claire's sister Becky, who's Bexy Norms, I think, on Instagram. And again, that was another lovely day. A little bit of shopping, catching up with friends I haven't seen for a long time. McDonald's after, because that's a little treat, because there's not a McDonald's within a 25-mile radius of where I live, so it's a bit of a treat to have one of those now and again. Yeah, and then last Saturday, Sophie and I, hello girls, went to John Arbon's open weekend, day. We went on the Saturday, and again caught up with some people that I haven't seen for a long time. We had a lovely day, had a look around the mill, seeing how everything works, and buying yarn. Has to be done. I did go with a purpose of yarn buying, which I will explain in a moment. But there were a few extra purchases that sneaked in to the bag too. But it was all good. So they were bargains, so they had to be bought. Anyway, let's get on with what we're here for, shall we? That's the knitting. It is all knitting this time. There's no crochet. Oh, at the end of the last episode, I did mention about doing a sewing episode. And I had a week off from work. And everything I tried to sew went wrong. So I gave it up as a bad job. and I've been picking bits up here and there, trying to sort them out and where they've gone wrong. I made a jumpsuit that I could only get off if I needed a wee with assistance, which is not very useful. I made a linen over, like long tunic thing with pockets, but the pocket placement that they suggested was for somebody with orangutan arms, and I ain't got them, so I couldn't get my hands in the pockets, so I've had to take the pockets off, and I haven't got back to putting them on further up the dress yet, which is really annoying. And I made a pinafore dress that when I went to get, you use like like a jeans button, like those round metal. When I went to, no, it doesn't. Tell you lie. I'm a lying liar. It uses like proper full on industrial press studs. And I only had one set left, and I needed 4, and I still haven't ordered the rest of them yet, so I need to do that, and then that can be finished, because I think it only needs hemming and press studs adding. But so I didn't record a sewing episode because it all went ping-tong. So anyway, so right, what am I doing? Focus, Lucy, focus. Okay, so we'll start with some FOs. We'll start with the most glaringly obvious one, which is the Soldotna crop. I'll stand up and give you a gratuitous boob shot. So you can see I've put some joggers on, only because they're high-waisted. So you can see sort of where there's my hip. Somewhere in there, somewhere in under the flubber is my hip bone. So you can see it's probably a couple of inches off my hips. So this is the Soldotna crop by Caitlin Hunter, who is Boyland Knitworks on Instagram and Ravelry, and I love it. I really love it. So yarns I used: Malabrigo dos Tierras. This brownie colour is Pearl 10. This turquoise here, which is in the body, is cyan, and this greeny in the arrows is teal feather, and then the white variegated background is Stranded Dye Works in Yesterday's Bouquet, and this is all DK weight. And like I say, I love it, absolutely love it, to the point where I have yarn to make another one. I knit this in 8 days, predominantly 8 evenings, I would say, and probably a Saturday. But it was just one of those ones that it was like, oh, I want to get onto the next bit of colour work. Oh, I want to finish this section of colour work. I want to finish this section of colour work. So, and then you do like these little fleas within the body of the same colours that are in this bit here. So it's the Yesterday's Bouquet and the teal feather. So absolutely love it. And I was a bit like, oh, fat girls can't wear crop tops, and then I was like, who says fat girls can't wear crop tops? As long as you style it right. So my plan is to wear it over dresses and with some like high-waisted jeans or something like that. But I love it. So I have yarn to make another one, and this is part of my John Arbon purchases. I ordered these 2 skeins from Tracy at Nora George, and this is the Bramble colourway. It's a bit coming out a bit brighter than it is. So they're Nora George yarns, and it's her Bramble on a DK base, which is 100% superwash merino, 225 meters. So I did the extra large size of this crop, and for the body you need 2 skeins. So for the main colour, so for your main colour, which I used the turquoise, you need 2 skeins, and I just broke into the second skein of the brown, but they were smaller skeins than. So the colours I chose to go with this from John Arban are these. So this will be my next Soldotna. So the grey is a new base, I think, for him, or a one-off base, something like that. It's Viola, and it's 100% merino. It's like soft as butter. And it is 250 metres. So I didn't use 250 metres of this when I made this one. So one skein should be enough. If it's not, then I don't know what I'm going to do. But doesn't matter. I can fudge it. If I have to bind off in a different colour, I have to bind off in a different colour. Doesn't matter. So that one will be here, and then these two, I love this. This is so vibrant. When it's mixed in with these, it really pops. So these two will be this bit here. So the white natural, these are just his knit by number, These are his knit by numbers, which is 100% pure Falklands merino. So this is knit by numbers 55, which is just an I don't know whether it's undyed or not. I think it is, yeah. But it's got flecks of like a grey in it, so I assume that's. And then this is knit by numbers 25. Upside down. Yeah. So that's going to be my next Soldotna, which won't be on the needles for a little while. Yeah, but like I say, I can't tell you how much I love this. Really love it. When we were at Flock, there were 4 of us, I think, that all brought our Soldotnas, because John, Mr. Bees, is a fantastic photographer. And took some great photos of us. So that was one. But there were 4 of us. There we go. Oh, my old saggy old lady boobs. There were 4 of us who had our Soldotnas. Couldn't wear them because it was roasting that day. But so John took a picture of all 4 of us, which was really cool. Really cool. Right, next one. This was a work in progress last time. So this is the Mother's Legacy, which was a mystery knit along by Amy Meeks and Debbie Reese, who are the Periscoping sisters. And it's a really long cowl that's interspersed with sections of lace work. Don't look too closely at my lace work because here it's gone a bit wrong. I don't know why, but I just can't do lace. Can't follow simple instruction. And then you get these. You use 3 mini skeins. So the main colour, this pink and green, came as a set from Nora George as part of Mrs. Weasley's Knit Club, and that was Godric's Hollow. And then this purple is a naturally dyed mini skein that I got as in a set from Skein Heroine. And I just thought it went really well with the other colours. So it's like a large, sorry if it's annoying the microphone. So it's a really nice double loop cowl that's going to be really squishy under a coat in the winter. So really enjoyed that. I've really enjoyed they do a mystery knit along every year for their American Mother's Day. And I've done this is the 3rd one, and I've done every single one and really enjoyed every one that I've done with them. It really keeps your interest. And they get this one, there was 10 days between each clue. So it was plenty of time between each clue, which was great. Next effort is another sweater I finished. It's not been blocked yet, but I finished my weekender. Yeah, that's the right way. So it's got, so you knit it inside out. So you knit it, so you're knitting the knit side, and then you slip and purl one round. You slip it, one round you purl it, to make this faux seam up the front and up the back. And I did full length sleeves on this one this time, but the sleeves are done in stockinette. And then you've got this rib detail across the top. It's really, the neck's a bit tight because you Kitchener the stitches along here, so it's made it a bit tight. It's not that stretchy, so I may, once it's blocked, I'll see how it goes. I don't think blocking is going to make that much of a difference with the looseness of it, but I may unpick the bind off and do a normal bind off. But yeah, I knit this in Rowan Pure Wool Superwash Worsted in the colour 191, which is, it's more of a mauvey colour than it's showing up on screen. It's not even moving it back. Doesn't get better colour. Yeah, so it's going to be great to go in the wardrobe, ready for winter. It's going to be like a nice, comfy, oversized sweater. I can't remember what size I knit. It'll be on my Ravelry notes if anybody's really that interested. And I didn't swatch. I have swatched in the past for other stuff, and I'm always like half a needle size. I always need to go up half a needle size. So I just take that as read now. Swatching lies anyway. I've never had a swatch that when I've knit something gets the same gauge as what my swatch said anyway. Because I think to get a true swatch it would need to be massive, because by the time you've blocked it, and like with the weight of a sweater, it's going to make it bigger anyway. So swatching lies. Don't do it. Don't do it. Or do it. It's up to you. But I don't. I like to live life on the edge. Next we have these pair of Bobby Dazzlers. Oh, I love these. So this is a pair of socks, if it's not blatantly obvious, in the Walking on Rainbows colourway by Fab Funky Fibres. So they start, yeah, this side, red, orange, yellow into green, and then they come back up this way, green, blue, indigo and violet. And I love them. These come as two 25-gram skeins. So so I just started with a cuff at one end, knit a tube, toe at the other end, and then cut in for an afterthought heel. So now I've shown you, they can go in my sock drawer, ready, well, saying that, ready for winter. I've had yesterday, put the heating on. What's going on? What's going on with the weather? It's crazy. This time last year we were all sweating our nubs off because it was roasting. This year, June the 11th, I had to put the heating on. Wrapped up like Nanook of the North because I was freezing. It's not right. It's not right. But there we go. So, just flash these a bit more. But yeah, I will be going to... Oh, is that not drop stitch? Is it? Sorry, I've just... Oh no. I will be going to... Oh, is my microphone not plugged in properly? Oh, sorry, earthquake. It is plugged in properly. I will be going to a Yarningham next month, which is a yarn show in Birmingham, and Fab Funky Fibres are having a stand. My wallet's going to cry. I will. So, yeah. That's that. The final FO is something that I've knit as a sample piece for the lovely Kelly at Lay Family Yarns. I haven't blocked it and I haven't woven in ends yet because it's only been off the needles a week. Who does that straight away? Not me. So this is the exploration station that I have knit as a sample. It's massive. So you start with these wedgers, and then you do a brioche, and then you do slip stitches, and then you do stripes, and then you do the border. So Kelly sent me these four skeins of yarn to knit as a sample, because excitingly they're opening a shop. Oh, exciting. Good luck. So it's blowing out a bit, but beautiful, like muted pastel palette, and I love it compared to the one that I made, which was like in your face pink. It's beautiful. So there we go. So that's all my FOs. Actually it's not, but I've been doing some secret gift knitting, so I can't show you because I know she watches the podcast, so I can't show, sorry. But I will, before it's gifted, I will do a little video and then I can add it into the next one or the one after. Depends on when I give it to her, when I see how to give it to. If you know what I mean. That came out completely wrong, but I know what I meant. Okay, so that's all my FOs. Which I don't think is too bad, is it? It's 2 sweaters in there, one of which wasn't even a whip last time I recorded. So, and a massive shawl, which wasn't a whip last time I recorded either, I don't think. Don't think it was. So yeah, I don't think I've done too badly. Not too bad at all. Right then, let's get on to works in progress. First up is my Mould Mania cardigan, which has a finished body. Da da da. Oh, it's massive. It's so heavy. It's completely like scrappy. Again, I haven't woven in any ends because I haven't got sleeves on it yet. But I finished the body, so I did a small rib on the bottom because I got bored. But it comes when I should I put it on? Hang on, let me check. I've got the sleeve stitches on these great holders from Clover. Let me just I tangled on my microphone and everything. Oh. I'm not very professional at this, am I? So let me slip it on if I can. So if I close these bits over, sorry, microphone. So it comes down. Once it's blocked, it will come down just past my buttocks. So it's a nice length, but to be fair, I don't think I'm going to wear it out anywhere anyway. It'll just be like a substitute dressing gown, I think. So I'm going to put some sleeves on it next. So hopefully that will be done. I want to get it done soon because Stash Dash has started. I'm at 2,500 meters already. So it's not too bad. Not too bad. I don't know what my goal is. I'm just going to see where I get to, I think, because last year I put too much pressure on myself to get stuff done, and it takes the enjoyment out of the knitting then if you're doing it as a... So that's that. So I want to get that done because that'll be like loads of Stash Dash points. Yeah. Stash Dash, for those of you who don't know, is run by Laura and Leslie of the Knit Girls podcast, and it's an annual thing they do to try and use stash, but you can, like any whips that you've got and finish during that time. It runs this year from the 25th of May to the 25th of August, so it's quite a long time. So it's a good plan to get things off those needles and get going with new stuff, removing stash. So next one is in my Stephen and Penelope bag that I got at EYF. Is my hybrid knitting cowl. Can't remember how far along I was last time. So you start. This is by Stephen West. Oh, the Mould Mania cardigan, sorry, was by Stephen West as well. And it's going to be like a very similar to the Mother's Legacy one, a long tube cowl. And then you do this colourwork section, colourwork triangles, and then you go into these slip stitch sections, which I'm finding a bit tedious. It's an 8-row repeat, so I'm trying to do 1 repeat a day. I've taken the needles off because I've used them for something else that I'll show you in a minute. So I've only got one set of short tip 4mm needles. So yeah, now once I get past the slip stitch section, then hopefully it'll fly, because then you go on to stripes. So I'm using this with John Arbon Knit by Numbers. So this is Knit by Numbers. This is the grey is 06 and the light grey, sorry, and the dark grey is 04. So this is Knit by Numbers 4-ply. What I showed you earlier was the DK version. And this again is 100% pure Falklands merino wool, and it's so soft. And then I used John Arbon mini skeins for the colourwork. And these are 25 gram minis, and you can see how I've hardly used any of them. So the stripe section is just done with these two. So this is what John's mini skeins look like. I picked up an extra one of the light grey when we were at John Arbon at the weekend, just in case I run out. So it's 25 grams in a mini skein, which is great. So, but the stripes in the pattern are using these two colours. So seeing as I've got so much left of the mini skeins, I might, like, every now and every whip and trip put in a stripe of colour, which I think will look nice. Because you've got this grey, then you've got this thing of colour work, and then the two greys together, and then it'd be nice to have a bit more colour work rather than it being all grey with just this one pop of colour. And I'm sure Stephen West would approve of adding in extra colour because he likes his colour. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, we're going away tomorrow. We're just going away in our little touring caravan for 4 nights. So of course I haven't got enough knitting to last me 5 days. You Boo Bear? Sorry, cat's just come in and it's gonna be. If you want to be sick, go out. Go out. Out. Okay, back. Sorry about that. Cat decided to regurgitate half-eaten mouse. Sorry about that. Joys of pet ownership. Beastly animal. Anyway, so as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted. Yes, we're going away for 5 days. So, of course, I didn't have enough, projects on the go as it was. So, decided I need to have a bit of a cast-on party at the weekend. Sorry. So, cast on 2 sweaters, as you do. So, in my knitter bag, which is covered in cat hair, this is from Stitches Tees. And this was the, it's blown out, chronic if I lean forward, the oil slick, which was a limited edition. So not that they're very far along, but this is going to be the Zweig by Caitlin Hunter. So I've just done the short row shaping at the back of the neck, and then I've got to knit a few more rows, and then I start the colour work section. So this is Nora George yarns. Oh, that's coming out quite well. So that's this raspberry, which is going to be my main colour, and then this is her November colourway, which does have like pops of yellow and purple and pinks, and that's going to be my contrast. So that's going to be the colour. There's a small colourwork section at the top. Everybody knows what the Zweig looks like, and then like a big lace panel, which is done in your contrast. So it's been on my to knit list for ages, and it's one of my Make 9 things this year. So as I said, this is Nora George on her super sock base, which is 75/25 merino nylon, 425 meters, in the November colourway and raspberry. So I've got 3 of the raspberry and 2 skeins of the November, just in case. There should be plenty, but so and the lovely Nicola of Bumble's Stitches on Instagram, and she's got a Bumble Stitches podcast, is doing a Boyland along, she's called it, I think, which is knit any Caitlin Hunter pattern. I think it runs through to end of September, but if you watch her latest podcast or check out her Ravelry group for Bumble's Stitches, she's having a Boyland Knitworks knit along, so that's pretty cool. So I'll be able to enter that. And then the next sweater is the Understated sweater by Joji Locatelli. I've got to bring it was in the latest Interpretations magazine. Let's see if I can get a picture on Ravelry. It's a V-neck, boxy, DK weight boxy. Sorry, I can see that's better. And it's got, let's see if I can get a picture of so the back has a ribbed, or the shoulder yoky bit along the back, and the front has some ribbing. So I've started the back, so you start with the shoulders. So this yarn is I hand dyed myself, and it's like a navy blue with touches of like dark patches of black, so you can see it here. So it's not going to show up very well, but I'm doing the ribbing. You can see like some black bits here. So that's what it looks like in the cake. So I've got 7 skeins, which I hope is going to be enough, but it's a boxy, and I probably won't knit it as long because my torso isn't as long as Joji's, so I should be all right for. I've checked, and I've got enough yarn, but there's contingencies if I haven't, because I don't think I'm going to be able to recreate, because I just chucked loads of different blues together to get this colour that I wanted. But I'm really happy with how it came out. So yeah, so that's going to be the Understated sweater. So I'm hoping, with a bit of work knitting today, if it's quiet, I can get the back rib done. and then you do a certain amount of stockinette. So I'm hoping by the time we come back from holiday to have the front and the back joined, and then it'll just be in the round, easy in the round knitting, which is ideal work knitting, because it doesn't matter if I've got to put it down when the phone rings. And my final whip is, I started another pair of socks yesterday, so these are tiny. You can barely see the pattern starting there. These are going to be the Coffee Talk socks by Tracy Miller, who's one half of the Grocery Girls, and this was their last kit that they did. So this yarn is Yarn Ink in the Amore set that the Grocery Girls did a kit, and you've got some Tuft woolens. So it's Yarn Ink in the Amore set, and I weigh my yarn before I start, and then weigh it when I finish, and then I know how much I've used, ready for entering into Stash Dash. This is in my little sheepy triangle bag, which really needs a wash. And some of them have got hats on. It's really cute. It's like a winter hat, and then like a, I don't know what sort of, like a baseball cap and a top hat. It's really sweet. From this bag was from the Little Grey Girl, and it's great. It's perfect size for socks, and it's got a handle that you can. So that's going to be my handbag socks. So while we're away, like if we're out for dinner or something like that, I can sit and put a few rows in. Like I say, I literally got one pattern repeat done yesterday. That's it for whipsies. 5. It's not bad, is it? With some hibernating whipsies, but they'll come out of hibernation one day. So 5 whipsies to take on holiday. I don't know how much knitting time I'm going to have, but there you go. So I'm going to talk about some recipes books that I really, really like. We use these probably 4 to 5 times a week for dinners, and they are, it's called The Roasting Tin, Simple One Dish Dinners by Rukmini Iyer. So this is the first one that came out. And then she brought out a vegan and vegetarian one, which is really good. We have a lot of dinners out of that, and then we'll add, some fish or some chicken for a bit of protein, because she uses a lot of nuts in it, and when I'm not overly keen on nuts, so to add the protein. And then this one is a new one out. It's only been out about a week. It's called the Quick Roasting Tin, so it's 30-minute one dish dinners, and since we've got the last 3 nights, we've had dinners out of this one. So Sunday, and I'm doing tonight's dinner out of this one as well. So Sunday we did this one, which is summer sausage tray baked with long stem broccoli and cherry tomatoes. And then last night we had this, which was the Kerala prawn curry, and Monday night we had this one, which was delicious, which is sticky soy and honey roasted salmon with asparagus and sugar snap peas. And then tonight I'm doing a chicken dish out of this one. This one I've done this recipe on the front, which I can't pronounce, but esclavada or something like that it's called. This one we have quite a lot. This is one of our favourite meals. It's a cherry tomato and orzo dish. And then, sorry for the shaking of the camera, I'm moving the books around. And in this one, the first one, we use a lot. And it's great because at the beginning of the chapters, it shows you, sorry for any vegetarians, I've chosen the meat version. So it shows you your meats, veggies, seasonings, dairy or a carb, and your herbs. So if you come across a recipe that uses aubergine, you haven't got an aubergine, then just take the aubergine out and put a tomato in, or a red onion, or whatever. It's really great. So you can pick and mix your dishes. And I use this one. We do have this one a lot. This is a favourite. It's smoky sausage. Oh, heavy on the sausage. Fanora. Sausage, sweet potato and red onion. And then this one, there's another one in here that we do a lot. That goes really well with chicken or fish. Which is, there it is, aubergine, squash and halloumi with bulgur wheat. And that is delicious. And that's really nice cold the next day as well. So I would say probably out of 4 or 5 nights a week, we will have a dish from one of these, because they're great. 10-minute prep, bung it in the oven. That's it. And then pinger goes off on the oven and your dinner's done, and you haven't had to stand there stirring loads of stuff and, you know, checking on timings of things and all that sort of stuff. Just chuck it all in one pot. Bob's your uncle. So I just wanted to bring these to your attention. They range from like 10 to 12 quid on the Amazons. I did check my local bookstore, but they didn't have them. So I did have to get them from Amazon, sadly. But your library may have them, so you can check it out in the library before you buy it. But I highly recommend them. They're really, really good. And like I say, if you're tight for time, get home from work, 10-minute prep, bung it in the oven. Hang on 2 secs. Sorry about that. Hubster came in and I can't pick up cat sick, so he had to come in and do it. I managed to put some toilet paper on the top of it before I won't go there. So he's come in and cleared that up for me, bless him. So, yeah, I think that's about it. I can't think of anything else. As I mentioned earlier, I'll be at Yarningham next month with the posse. Looking forward to seeing you there. If you're going to be there, please say hello if you do see me. Other than that, there's not a lot going on, I don't think. No. So that's it. Fabulous. No, lovely to see you all again. Not that I can see you, but you know what I mean. Lovely to be with you all again. And I will try and be better at podcasting, more regular. But life gets in the way sometimes, doesn't it? Okay, that's it. Like I say, if you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't already subscribe and you would like to, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on the Instagrams. That's where I'm most active, is not on Instagram. And that's it. That's great. Thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you next time. Bye.